This is Dan Dicks here reporting for Press for Truth, and in this video we're going to cover everything you need to know about the Bitcoin Strategic Reserve, so let's jump right into it. On Thursday, March 6th, one day before the first ever crypto summit was held at the White House, President Donald Trump signed an executive order for the establishment of a strategic Bitcoin reserve and the United States digital asset stockpile, which is to include Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, Cardano, and Ripple, to name a few. One would think this bullish news should cause the prices to go up, but they didn't. The market reacted negatively to this announcement because of one key element in the proposal that hinges on everything. Under Section 3A, we see that the Secretary of the Treasury shall establish an office to administer and maintain control of custodial accounts, collectively known as the Strategic Bitcoin Reserve, capitalized with all BTC held by the Department of the Treasury that was finally forfeited as part of criminal or civil asset forfeiture proceedings. So what does that mean? It means the government isn't buying Bitcoin. It isn't investing in Bitcoin. It isn't even signaling a real commitment towards Bitcoin adoption. Folks, what we're really seeing here is the formalization of state-sanctioned theft. It's literally the hoarding of seized assets that have been confiscated under criminal and civil asset forfeitures. But wait, what exactly is a civil asset forfeiture?
Civil asset forfeiture is really a mechanism by which the state and federal government can seize people's property without having to convict them of a crime. Most people can't afford to hire a lawyer to challenge it. It's really legalized robbery by law enforcement.
In other words, if the government believes that your property was or may be used in a crime, they can confiscate it. And as if that wasn't bad enough,
many folks are unfamiliar with the idea of civil forfeiture, which is actually a case brought directly against a piece of property where you don't need to be proven guilty of a crime for your goods to be taken away.
So you won't even be charged with a crime because it's not you that is on trial. It's your property that is on trial. And if that wasn't bad enough,
under civil forfeiture laws, your property is guilty until you prove it innocent.
So it's not on them to prove that you did anything illegal. It's actually all on you to prove that you didn't do anything illegal.
Here in Philadelphia, if you have your property taken, you can come here to City Hall and go to courtroom 478 and try to get it back. Problem is, the people that are taking the belongings are also the ones calling the shots inside the courtroom.
The Sorvellises showed up to courtroom 478 ready to plead their case to a judge. Instead, they say they faced a prosecutor from the DA's office.
So their very first step in challenging the police who seized their property was to be in a courtroom that didn't even have a judge to hear their case. That's not justice. It's organized crime. It's the biggest violation of property rights we've seen in modern history. And that is what the Bitcoin Strategic Reserve is based on. Folks, this isn't about making the US the crypto capital of the world. It's about formalizing state-sanctioned theft. I mean, the government is already going after the Bitcoin of friends of mine like Roger Ver, the world's first investor in Bitcoin startups, and a man who openly promotes voluntarism. Which is why, as he says, he's always known that he'd be targeted politically for spreading cryptocurrency and voluntarist ideals. That's why I always did everything possible to comply fully with tax laws. The fact they indicted me anyway, despite my best efforts and full willingness to comply, proves beyond doubt this is a political persecution. I need the public's help to end it. Folks, they want to steal Roger's Bitcoin and put it into this strategic reserve. And if Roger Ver ends up being the first major domino to fall here, you better be prepared for the Fed to come for your Bitcoin next. I want to share with you now a post I recently saw on X that pretty much nails it. The Bitcoin Strategic Reserve isn't about Bitcoin. It isn't about making the US the crypto capital of the world. This isn't even about financial strategy. This is about formalizing state-sanctioned theft. The federal government isn't buying Bitcoin. It isn't investing. It isn't even signaling a real commitment to Bitcoin adoption. It is hoarding seized assets. Assets confiscated through criminal and civil asset forfeiture, a process that has long been one of the most egregious violations of property rights in modern history. This is not a strategic Bitcoin reserve. This is a digital vault for plunder, a glorified evidence locker repackaged as forward-thinking financial policy. Not a single Satoshi is being acquired, only seized. This is a cold ledger of stolen wealth, extracted under legal pretense, now being dressed up as responsible stewardship. It's not a step towards adoption. It's a step towards normalizing the government's authority over the very thing it was designed to replace. The real play here is control, bureaucratic consolidation, a mechanism to ensure that every piece of crypto the state seizes stays in state hands. A digital Fort Knox where the gold isn't bought, it's taken. And then there's the digital asset stockpile, a broad, ambiguous, government-controlled treasure chest of seized digital assets. Read between the lines. This is about streamlining the process, establishing clear procedures, ensuring that every future seizure goes smoothly with a direct pipeline to government coffers. You don't build a warehouse unless you plan to fill it. The government is already sitting on nearly 200,000 Bitcoin, and that's just what we think we know. They admit there's never been a full audit, so how much more is out there? And now they're setting up an apparatus that ensures they never have to sell. This is no different than when they stockpiled gold, while simultaneously severing the public's ability to redeem dollars for it. They accumulate while you get breadcrumbs. This is not promises kept. This is setting up the infrastructure for further confiscation. A fortress built with stolen keys, and they're celebrating it as a win for crypto. If they wanted a true Bitcoin reserve, they'd buy it. If they wanted real adoption, they'd remove capital gains taxes and let the free market dictate the flow. If they wanted sovereignty, they'd use it as a functional reserve currency. But that's not what's happening. Instead, they're creating the perfect system to confiscate, hoard, and control. This is not good news. And I couldn't agree more. Let me know your thoughts about this in the comment section below. And if you appreciate my efforts to bring you this information, please consider checking the top link in the description below to where you can find me at pressfortruth.ca/donate. Thank you so much to everybody who does take 1 minute today to contribute to my efforts here to bring you this information at Press for Truth. So thanks for watching, guys. That's all for today. Please click that thumbs up button, share this video, and stay tuned, guys. We're going to have more video reports coming soon, God willing. This is Dan Dicks reporting for Press for Truth. We all want truth. The truth will set you free.